Hi Sagittarius, here is a general look at your solar chart for March 2016. Could be significant new beginnings for you this month, Sagittarius. This is the time in your life to take seriously your own development, your own evolution, and there is probably something that you have to keep plugging away at, which is going to be very progressive. It's very much future orientated. It's what may be, right? And you really feel as though you're getting there. You're getting there. You're getting there. It's steady, slow, but you're getting there. And also, of course, we have Jupiter helping open new doors in your career area, or bringing in new costumes for you to wear in your role in the world. Maybe it's something like that. But let's start at the beginning. So March is interesting for all the signs anyway, because there's going to be two eclipses. There's a solar eclipse on March the 8th on the Pisces-Virgo axis, and they are mutable signs like your own sign is, and so your sign and Gemini will feel the strong waves of this. Particularly significant for you if you have a planet or the sun or important point near the degree of the eclipse. Of course, the first eclipse is a solar eclipse, and it will encourage expansive change as it unpacks itself, as it unfolds over the subsequent months. The thing about eclipses, especially a powerful one like this, is that they go on for a long time afterwards, and the advice is always to try to do one significant thing or statement of intent on the day of the eclipse, before the eclipse happens, or very as close as you can, which will then set a tone, set the precedent in a way for what you want to manifest over those coming months. The other interesting thing about eclipses, and fascinating really, is that they can start to show, the effects can start to show themselves even before the eclipse has happened. So maybe one day somebody can do a study on that and write it up and let us all know how that works. It could be part of an ongoing cycle or trend, of course, that's going on with the moon in the person's life anyway. But yeah, it's interesting. So you might start feeling this a month maybe, or a certain number of days before the eclipse happens. And for you it's particularly significant as another mutable sign, but also the fact that it is influencing strongly Saturn and Jupiter. Both of these are really important transiting planets for you at the moment. One of them is your ruling planet anyway, and also bringing in some Chiron, some Neptune, which is also in a significant place for you, and a little bit of Pluto just thrown in as a garnish. If you could ever use Pluto as a garnish, I wouldn't have thought so. Pluto would be something with a real bite to it, I think, that is sort of a mysterious secret flavor in there that nobody can guess. So if we were thinking about a stew maybe, or a casserole. But anyway, back to the astrology. Yeah, it can feel, because Chiron's there, it can feel like certain things kind of need thrashing out, that kind of bugging you, coming up to the surface because Pluto's there. But Pluto's there in a very supportive way, and in fact the eclipse energy is not, you know, it's unbiased energy, it's neutral energy, it's energy of change. But because it includes, on the degree it's eclipsing at these other planets, then depending on how you're dealing with those transits in your sign, it will dictate to a degree how this eclipse energy could be panning out for you. Of course, now you've got this extra information. Yeah, anything in your life that you're really working on for yourself. So it could be diet, it could be exercise, it could be magnum opus, it could be, you know, the first of several novels, it could be your spirituality, it could be just a general new beginning and resettling in your life for all Sagittarians and Sagittarius rising people as well, or Moon Sagittarius. So this is you know, likely to affect you guys. And the long transit of Saturn through your sign, and it comes back around again once every 29, 30 years, sometimes through adversity, you will be steadily building the new structures for the future in those areas that are closest to your heart, you know, that like you have to say to yourself, if not now, when? That's the thing about Saturn. It's the wake up and smell the coffee planet. So you Sagittarians born December the 6th to the 8th are with 15 to 17 degrees rising going to feel the energy of Saturn the most this forecast period. And that spans a little bit further along as well to be right on the degrees of where the eclipse is going to be. So it includes more of a span of around those dates. So we go up to 18, 19 degrees, which is up until about 11th, 12th. But that's the most. Of course, the whole sign is going to feel it. And then, of course, you might have planets, or you might have your rising sign as well nearer these degrees. So anyway, that, yeah, knowledge is power. And this can lead to whatever you want to resolve, to heal, to get started, to really turn over a new leaf on something here. Fresh beginnings over the succeeding several months. It can be 6, it can be 12, even up to 18 months after the eclipse, but try and do something on the day of the eclipse which sort of puts your stamp on how you would like it to be panning out. And then there's the other eclipse, which is actually pretty good news for you as a fire sign. This one happening on March the 23rd is a lunar eclipse, and it's in Aries Libra on that axis. And this is going to be encouraging new beginnings for you. It can benefit your sign, important points or planets that you have near that degree. It'll be in the first sort of 3 to 4 degrees. Yeah. And again, and not as powerful as the solar eclipse, but still worth mentioning, very much so. And again, coming on maybe a little bit before, and then going through for a month maybe, or maybe even longer, depending on what sort of part of the cycle that you are in. And this one is in an area to do with children. It's to do with your own inner child and your creative juices flowing on some project or other, maybe. It's to do with speculation into this or that or the other thing, investments, competition, having more access to leisure and fun and entertainment. I mean, it's not bad. Not bad. And it's to do with groups of people making friends or meeting up with old friends. It can be to do with something very, very, very progressive as well. It's got a real progressive vibe. In fact, the whole of the month for you, Sagittarius, is progressive. And so do what you will with that wave of energy that is going to come up under you and kind of almost like, you know, be boiling along under you. If you need to learn how to I'd like to be able to do that myself, you know, kind of surf that. I mean, actually go out surfing. I've never had an opportunity to do it. So anyway, so there's other news. Around the 5th to the 7th, Saturn goes over the Sun, a little bit more responsibility there, a little bit more pressure on you, just the conditions or whatever is swift. But take a step back maybe if you're feeling a bit pushed down by it, and figure out, you know, how strong you are in yourself, because Saturn is always about us finding our strength and pushing back against the pressure. So not in an angry way, but in a like, you know, I don't want to be coerced by this sort of way, or not like that, because that's a bit more like Pluto actually. It's more like saying, I can see how I can be smarter in the way this is all being organized here, or indeed this is a time that I just need to kind of go quiet and kind of just deal with things in in so much a formal way, although that can help. Like, you know, in a business-like sort of way, not getting too emotionally kind of involved there. That's probably the best thing that's coming into my head at the moment, actually. And then there is Jupiter and Saturn going across each other as well. That is from mid-month onwards, feeling that you have a certain curtailment on your freedom of action here for some reason, but then realizing that you can expand within the parameters of what you've got going. And that can be quite fruitful for you. Choosing your own limits, or choosing your own scheduling, or choosing your own structuring, and saying, okay, if I've got the planet of structure and limits around on my ruling planet now, which it will be, Jupiter's your ruling planet, let me be the one that calls the shots here about how I'm going to limit things, and how I'm going to say, okay, I've got this time slot, this time slot, this time slot, and kind of do it like that, because it's coming in and out, this one. So anyway, mid-month onwards. Then we have Mercury and Venus going over Neptune. Mercury goes over Neptune on the 10th and the 11th, and Venus goes over on the 19th and 21st. Interesting, that one. Can be confusion around communications, or travel, or information is not clear. Maybe that's not to you, maybe that's from you. So what I would say about this time is be very careful, listen carefully, be as simple and as clear as you can in your speaking, the writing, the small print, whatever it is. Venus then also, all that glitters is not gold. You know, you might kind of get all sort of like romantically expectant, or just blown away, and then actually, you know, at the beauty of something, and then when you go around the back, it's all being sort of held up with, or there's a load of rubbish bags around, it's being held up with sticks or something. I mean, there's no substance to it. That's the thing about Neptune, it's sort of smoke and mirrors. It kind of keeps you hanging in a cloud of unknowing, which can be quite nice, actually, because if something is raising your spirits, or touching you deeply, you don't really want to analyze it, but maybe sometimes if it's a solid good thing, it needs to stand up under analysis. Having said all that, you know, on the warning side, it can be lovely, in fact, to have Mercury and Venus. You're in surroundings of beauty, you meet somebody beautiful, or you are in a surroundings where there's kindness, there's gentleness, there's things that please you in a person, maybe, and you are sort of blown away, or there's like very kind of deep understanding going on that'll be towards you, maybe, or from you, maybe. And something goes beyond your expectations. But whatever is going on, there can be these subtleties, so your intuition is working well, and you can be creative, and feel inspired, or you can witness something which is being which is creative and inspiring, and maybe is really helping. So you're helping, or somebody's helping. You know, somebody else, or yourself, in a very sort of selfless kind of a way. Again, quite fleeting, and you are going to be having Mercury from the 5th right down in the root of your chart. So, you know, you might see a property or something, or something about a property or a space, or something to do with being out in nature, which you absolutely, you know, it just, I don't know, it touches your soul in some way. You're really enjoying it. And then Venus from the 12th is also there. So it's likely but again, there could be hidden things about it. They might be good. They don't have to be bad. There might be water, actually, which is significant there as well, because Neptune is about water. So you could just feel very bewitched and enchanted, shall we put it that way, from the 12th. That before the 12th, we've got, we've got Mercury before the 5th, but before the 12th, we've got Venus in a very sociable sector, so meeting up with people, talking to people, helping you to be articulate, and in the sort of flow of information exchange, but helping you to feel fluent, feel supported, feel like you're teaming up with somebody as well who's got the information maybe, or they see you as the one who's got the information. So good for one-to-one, but good also for discovering things and picking up little nuggets in your environment. Very good for that. And then we have Saturn, still pretty close to Uranus for the first half of the month. Steady focus and consistency is needed with something that you know is going to get you somewhere in the future, and you feel as though you've already got a hold of the strands of this, which is literally almost like pulling you into the future, but you've got the green light on it. It's a very positive aspect, but you need to take it slowly and steadily so you're consistent and you're persevering as you move forwards. But you know that every day that goes by is getting you nearer and nearer where you want to go. And the sun goes over Mars in the last week, so that can add a wave of vitality and really sort of speed things up, hustle and bustle again. That's a very, very positive aspect. Now, Mars has been in the background of your life for a long time, since the beginning of January, near the beginning of January in Scorpio, the sign before yours. But on the 6th, Mars is going into your sign. And it's going to be there for quite a while, until late May. So you need to get with the program. It's about really, things that have been hanging fire maybe, or you've just been dreaming about. Now you get the opportunity. As I say, it's a very progressive vibe for you this month. So likely to bring you more stamina and vitality. Mars is about initiating things, or maybe they're initiated for you, whether you choose it or not, and you've just got to keep up. But this is when you get more assertive. This is when you get more decisive. And this is also when you take enough rest and relaxation, because Mars energy is very strong. It can be quite confrontational as well, this energy, but doesn't like hanging around, doesn't like procrastinating like it did in the previous area. So you can go forwards now. From the 20th, there's a brighter, less inward vibration around that can manifest as opportunities to be in environments you enjoy. You feel empowered. There could be admiring glances coming your way, obviously for your natural beauty, but also for something that you're good at and you find you're good at. You didn't realize maybe even that you were this good at it, and you enjoy it. You get something out of it. It's also to do with arts and entertainments and the leisure industry, etc. And so that kind of thing could be more center stage in your life. Did I tell you, you Sagittarians born the 5th to the 11th of December, or 14 to 20 degrees rising, going to feel the energy of Jupiter the most, really helping to open new doors, showing you new directions in your area of career and your general life direction. And then Neptune right down in the root of your chart, meaning that you've got to draw stronger boundaries around your space, wherever your home base is, because there is maybe, others around, or maybe it's to do with family, and you're being invaded a bit. You feel invaded a bit sometimes. So you've got to be stronger there, but you've also got to be there for others. You Sagittarians born the 29th of November, the 2nd of December, with 8 to 11 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most. And that's it for March. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. Also, this material is written up on DianaGarland.com, and I'll see you the next time.